Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Colin Holloway. I'm the Global Head Technical for a company called Cockett Marine Oil. We are one of the largest petroleum resellers in the world. We are owned by two very strong partners. We own 50% by Vitol, who you've probably all heard of, and 50% by Grindrod. But that's my day job, and I'm not here today to talk about my day job. I'm here to talk about, I also have a function as the chair for the IBIA, the International Bunker Industry Association, here for the Middle East. So let me talk about that and tell you what we do. Okay. IBIA, we represent the bunker sector at IMO. We have consultative status at IMO for our engagement in two committees. We are on the MEPC, where we've contributed to the CII of bunker vessels and emission factors for exhaust gas cleaning systems. We're also on the ESPS H30, which looks at the carriage of biofuels by bunker vessels. And we have a very good representative, a guy called Mr. Edmund Hughes, who used to work for the IMO, and he was very much involved with IMO 2020 when that came into being. We've recently submitted documents to the IMO meetings, the MEPC and the ESPH, putting the view across of our members of the International Bunker Industry Association. Okay, what do we focus on? We focus on standards by working with regulators and other bodies for the development. An example of this is we've recently done a lot of work with the MPA in Singapore. They've done their first, maybe their second, I believe, methanol bunkering, and we were very much involved in writing up the standards with them from a safety and a point of view. We're very much involved in training. Okay, we offer courses that are globally recognised, both online and also at our conventions and other conferences that we attend. We're looking actually to have a course here on alternate fuels during the UAE Maritime Week, so that will be something that I'd like to see a few of you attend. And we have a number of working groups that we've put together. We have our technical working group, which has been developing new fuel standards and quality. I think you're probably all aware of the new ISO 8217 2024. We were very much involved in that from an IBIA point of view. Future fuels, we've developed on our website, if you want to go and look, frequently asked questions on alternate fuels. And this is currently being updated, but we have a number of members who are involved with future fuel in the future. And in fact, today we have a seminar which is open to all this evening in the States, which is going to be looking at the state of alternate fuels in the USA. Digitalization, we've heard a lot about that today, and we're working very closely with the Singapore MPA, looking at EBDNs, which are going to be introduced very soon. We're also putting input to FAL in IMO, which is looking at the development of marine digitalization. So we're very much involved in digitalization in a big way. And of course, mass flow metering, MFM, and bunker licensing, that's been a bit of a hot topic for many years. IBIA is in favour of mass flow metering and bunker licensing. We're involved with what's happening in Rotterdam, where Rotterdam is introducing in that. We'd like to see that introduced to more ports throughout the world. Okay, that's a little overview of what IBIA does. The bunker value chain, I don't know if I really need to explain this to a lot of people here. A lot of people, we see a lot of seafarers who probably know, but the bunker value chain involves a lot of people, from the energy that's actually produced, the people who produce it, the blenders, who are blending it and selling it to the ships. It needs to be transported to the terminals. It then is put on a barge and goes to the ship. Then there's people like us who are traders. There's people like our parent company, Vitol, who are physical suppliers. Then it goes to the ship itself, and finally there's all the compliance issues that are with that. Why am I showing this? Well, of course I'm showing this because we have people in IBIA who represent every part of this chain. Even the bit at the bottom, the compliance, the legal, the labs and everything. We have people from all aspects of the bunker industry. And we all have to be involved as we move forward with this decarbonisation agenda. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the complexity that we're going to face in the future. The multi-fuel future, which is going to bring increased risk. Hydrocarbons, we're still going to have hydrocarbons for many, many years. Someone said earlier today that we're only looking at maybe 5 or 10% of these alternate fuels. Hydrocarbons are going to be around for a long time, that's for sure. Biofuels, they're the in thing at the moment, and they are probably short-term. They are what I would tell people to get interested in. I think the future for the next couple of years is going to definitely be biofuels, especially when it comes to the new regulations, Fuel EU and the ETS trading. Methanol, we see methanol, there are some people that are pushing methanol, some of the big container companies, for instance. And then in brackets, we've got ammonia and hydrogen, which, as someone else said this morning, I think are a fair way off. It's going to be a while before we see them. For us as a bunker industry, we need new ship tonnage to be able to supply these fuels. There's a lot of LNG barges that have been commissioned recently. In fact, there was one yesterday, I believe. Shell has just launched a new LNG barge in Europe. So there's quite a few barges that are coming on. The barges for methanol should be just chemical tankers. A lot of people are ordering Pacific bunker barges to deliver methanol. So that's happening. One thing that's overlooked quite a bit is the storage of these new fuels. There's going to have to be a lot of investment in port infrastructure to supply and store these new fuels. All these new fuels have a very low energy density compared to what we're used to. These are going to cause problems on board the vessels. Obviously, you need twice as much space to store these fuels, but also it's going to mean there's going to be more storage required at ports. And I think it's something that's not really looked at as much as it could be. Safety and training implications. You know, we've heard the dangers of ammonia. LPG is very, very cold. You can have lots of problems with LPG, although it's quite a mature industry in a way. But all these safety and training implications are going to have to be identified and managed. And we're involved in that as an organisation. Okay, we must thank DNV. DNV's been thanked a lot today, but this is just looking at, this is a study that was done at the end of 2022, but it's still the same today. If we look at all the fuels there, the normal fuels and the gaseous fuels, and then we've got the methanol and ammonia and hydrogen, then we look at the distribution and storage of those fuels. Are we ready? Okay, well, we know that the normal fuels that we use nowadays, the hydrocarbons, well established and well in place worldwide. When it comes to the gaseous fuels, LNG is a big business worldwide, and there is a lot of bunker tankers being launched now for LNG. So I think we're okay there when it comes to distribution and storage. Methanol is traded. I think it's 100 million tonnes a year of methanol that's traded. So most chemical terminals will have storage for methanol. So methanol also is pretty okay. Even ammonia, I mean, I can remember many, many years ago when I was a young man going on to ammonia vessels, and which were carrying ammonia from Schweiber port in Kuwait. So we've been trading in ammonia for many years. Hydrogen, there's no distribution or storage anywhere at the moment. It's coming. We hear about the Japanese are building a hydrogen tanker, but it's very, very early stages. Bunkering infrastructure. I don't have to talk about the infrastructure for hydrocarbons. It's well in place. Everyone knows that. And even for LNG. There was a lot of talk initially. LNG was going to need a lot of investment, which it has done, but a lot of investment has been made, and now I think that bunkering from LNG is quite in a good situation, a good place. Methanol, there's a storage at all these chemical plants, but not really any bunkering yet, although there has been one done in Singapore using a chemical tanker. When it comes to ammonia, there's no infrastructure for bunkering ammonia, and hydrogen, no, neither. So that's where we are today, okay? So the increased risk, ship-shore compliance requirements, complexity is increasing, that's for sure, okay? We need a regulatory framework that looks at, because at the moment it's lagging for these new fuels, for the safety, for the insurance, for the reliability, for the unknowns. There are many, many, many of the unknowns there, out there. When it comes to certificate of sustainability, greenhouse gas fuel intensity is now on a well-to-wake basis. In the bunker industry, we're used to dealing from a tank to wake basis. So in the bunker industry, we've always looked at emissions, what happens on the ship. But in the future, it's going to be what happens from when the fuel is produced, all the way along that bunker chain to when we burn it on the ship. Okay, and what's really going to help with that, I believe, and what IBIA believes, is the digitalization of the industry. Because you're going to have to know from when the fuel is produced to when the fuel is burnt, what actually you've used. Increased risk will always bring both threats and opportunities. Okay. Uncertainty remains very much on the bunkering side of things, and investments will follow, I'm sure of that, once a business case can be made, which is why we're pushing, we need the regulation on the bunker side to push forward these alternate fuels. That's it. Introduction to IBIA, and I'll talk about these future fuels. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.